Your preferred some radio, 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred some radio, 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. Fill your ears with awesome news, make it do my recover you. Dance to the rhythms and all of the blues. Things that you see on 89.3, yeah. I'm a living proof with testimony. So many blessings coming easily. Things that you get on 89.3. Tune into 89.3. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio, 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio, 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. Satisfy on the microphone,
It's Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Magic.
FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Hello, everybody. My name is Akin Lewis, and you know me. You're listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and it is called your preferred wholesome radio. So keep it locked. Stay tuned. This is the radio you've been waiting for.
It's a beautiful morning, and of course, what other better time it is to come here and have conversations concerning the growth of our dearest nation, Nigeria. So, good morning to you and welcome. This is another day and another time. As I would always say, the conversation that concerns the growth of Nigeria is not just my business, it is the business of you and I. You're asking why? Because we both have the best interest of Nigeria at heart. And more than anything, we all are looking forward to getting the Nigeria of our dreams. And of course, it is very possible. The Nigeria of our dreams, the Nigeria we all dream to see, is very possible. And that would happen when we don't fold our arms and keep looking. We keep talking about it. We keep putting in effort. We keep doing our very own little that we can to ensure that Nigeria becomes better. Not just for us, but also for the generations to come. Good morning and welcome this morning to Perspectives Unlimited, right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Today, the 14th of May 2026. It's exactly 35 minutes gone past 6 a.m. from the studio right here. And so this morning, together with the analysts in the studio, we will be delving into the dailies and analyzing some of the stories for you to have a better understanding and of course to keep you abreast about happenings around Nigeria, because Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies. My name is Toluwaleke Alli, and this morning you can watch us live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. And on YouTube is at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. At Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Also, you can listen via our website on www.wellsradio893.com. www.wellsradio893.com, and of course across various radio directories at Wells Radio 89.3 FM, at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. So yes, once again, join me this morning. Let's take a look at the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning. On the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, above the masthead, presidential fleet operations gulp 4.24 billion naira in 6 months. That's according to a report, and it's on page 16. UN demands probe into civilian deaths in Nigerian airstrikes. That's on page 14. And back to page 16, 500 billion naira fraud probe. EFCC detains Energy Commission DG. 33.8 billion naira fraud. Court jails ex-power minister Maman 75 years. And that's on page 2. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, Dangote rejects NNPC offer to increase stake in refinery. It has 3 riders. Refinery supplies over 3.2 trillion naira to local markets in 3 months amid falling imports. U.S.-Iran conflict boosts refinery earnings. Output climbs to 661,000 barrels per day. Dangote Group eyes $100 billion revenue target by 2030. Why refinery declined NNPC offer. To read more on that story, check out page 39 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Bank flagged ex-AGF Malamis transactions. Witness tells court. That's on page 16. Customs NDLEA intercept 16 billion naira cannabis shipment. And the story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper for this morning. U.S. lawmaker bill seeks mandatory Sharia rejection by immigrants, and that's on page 14. U.S.-based Nigerian doctor escapes death in Oyo mob attack, and that story can be found on page 5. On page 16, which is the final story on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, 2027 NDC reps caucus holds talks with Obi Kwakwanso. And so the stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning, UN urges independent probes into deadly Nigeria Chad airstrikes, and that's on page 3. ADC now stable after Obi Kwakwaso's exit, says Abdullahi. That's on page 3 as well. On page 2, cysts misconception ends as PCOS officially becomes a PMOS. That's on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. The lead story reads, IMF exposes Nigeria's budgeting gaps as execution crisis deepens. And there's a pictorial image of Nigeria's fiscal fragility, the rising cost of budget indiscipline, which is highlighting the discipline deficit and the structural gaps in various sectors. And the story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Wike defends a visit to APC chairman, condemns politics of enmity, and that's on page 8. Federal government fixes June for nationwide digital TV switchover, and that's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. Court jails ex-power minister Salim Maman, 75 years, over 22 billion naira fraud. The story can be found on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Aviators protest assault, demand sanction of Air Force personnel. That's on page 8. APC battles screening row, defections, violence fears over primaries. And that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And the final story, which is on page 8, reads, Fayose rallies AKT APC supporters for Oyebanji's re-election. Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. NDLEA intercepts 10.4 billion naira Canadian loud at Lagos port. That's on page 25. NUC VCs sign performance contract on $65 million World Bank project. To read more on that story, check out page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. NHRC worries over recurrent civilian casualties from airstrikes. The lead story reads, 33 billion naira fraud. Court jails ex-power minister for 75 years, and it has a couple of riders, Mammon sentenced in absentia. Judge orders Interpol security agencies to arrest him anywhere. EFCC arrests Energy Commission DG over alleged 500 billion naira money laundering. And that story is on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper for this morning. Federal government fixes June 17 for digital switchover. That's on page 4. I will choose competence over party. Makinde on choice of successor. That's on page 2. Ekiti Guba, Fayose Ojudu describe Oyebanji as a builder of modern Ekiti. And that's at page 3. The health column, sleep timing irregularity could double risk of heart attack, according to experts, and that's on page 15. And finally, on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning, Nigeria's oil output rises marginally, short of OPEC quota. And that's on page 19. UN seeks independent probe into Nigeria. Chad airstrikes. The story is on page 46 of the Vanguard newspaper. Court jails ex-power minister Maman, 75 years, over 33.8 billion naira fraud. And it has a rider, EFCC arrests Energy Commission DG over alleged 500 billion naira laundering. Stories are on page 6 and 7 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Why I visited APC chairman, that's according to Wike, and that's on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. APC primaries, petitions pour in as party clears Uzodinma, Fubara, Alli, others. And it has a couple of riders. Axe dangles on Adelabo. No governor disqualified. Alleged imposition threatens Oyo APC. Ayedatiwa bows to pressure to conduct direct primaries. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. APC screening committee clears Delta speaker, 45 others. That's on page 12. 2027, Kwakwanso tackles Baba Ahmed over alleged demand for PRP presidential ticket. And it has 2 riders. We rejected Obi Kwakwanso's request for presidential ticket. That's according to Baba Ahmed. PRP chair seeking attention, says Kwakwaseya movement. And that's on page 8. Conflicting court rulings threaten banking stability. CJ Tsoho warns. That's on page 12. Leah Sharibu at 23. Women's group seeks to keep her story alive. And that's on page 14. Nigeria spends 6.54 trillion naira to import auto parts in 2 years. That's coming from the DG of the NADDC. And to read more on that story, check out page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And those are the stories across some of our various national dailies this morning. All right, welcome back. Joining me this morning on the show is Mr. Alli Konsani. Good morning, Mr. Alli.
Good morning to you, madam.
All right, let us begin with the lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Dangote rejects NNPC offer to increase stake in refinery. The president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has said that the group rejected requests by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to increase its 7.25% stake in the Dangote refinery. Dangote stated this in an interview and according to, the interview was granted on Wednesday, actually, and according to findings by the Punch newspaper, it showed that the petrol supply from the $20 billion Lekki-based refinery rose to 3.18 billion litres in the first quarter of 2026, while the imports fell sharply to 965.52 million litres. And further findings indicated that the average domestic ex-depot petrol price from the Dangote refinery across January to March 2026 was about 1,000 naira per litre. And this implies that the multi-billion-dollar plant supplied over 3.2 trillion naira worth of petrol domestically during the review period. And also the war between the United States and Iran and its resultant disruption in the oil sector and other sectors has led to increased revenue for the Dangote refinery, as the plant has raised its refined petroleum products export. And according to Dangote during the interview, he said the NNPC's offer to increase its 7.25% stake in the refinery was rejected because the company is planning to go public and give other Nigerians the opportunity to own shares in the plant. It was reported that in 2021, the NNPC acquired the 7.25% stake in the refinery for $1 billion, with an option to acquire the remaining 12.75% stake by June 2024. But the national oil firm reneged on its decision. And so now that they've decided that they want to take the remaining percentage, Dangote has rejected that. Could you say that's the reason NNPC is now, looking at increasing their stake? It's because they've seen how much or how well the refinery is doing.
Definitely. If you weren't there for me when I needed you, why then should I be there for you when you need me? When Dangote was in a mess, when he needed money to advance the cost of his refinery, the NNPC did what was not sensible at all by going back on the initial agreement. The initial agreement was that they were going to own at least 20% stake in the refinery. A lot of us believed that, okay, through NNPC, that Nigeria has actually owned 20% of the refinery until Dangote himself came out to say, no, you guys are making a mistake. It's not 20%, it's just 7.25%. And at that point, a lot of us were like, how did that happen? Because it wasn't like it was Mele Kyari that was going to bring money out of his own personal pocket. It was money belonging to the federal government of Nigeria. And according to the agreement they had, everything was not going to be money-based. A certain percentage was going to be money-based, but the other percentage was going to be crude-backed. Like, give us crude oil to the tune of this particular amount, and in response, we are going to give you a certain stake in our refinery. But for reasons other than what common sense can understand, Mele Kyari didn't follow through. What we should be asking right now is, I don't think Dangote owes us any explanation. Rather, we should be talking to Mele Kyari. Why didn't you follow through with what the president approved as of then? Why did you back out of that very, very beautiful plan? Had it been that we went all through, we went full throttle on the 20%, should Dangote make 1,000 naira, then Nigeria will be getting at least 200 naira from that deal. That's a very beautiful deal. But, Mele Kyari didn't follow through for reasons, like I said, that common sense cannot understand. And we need to ask him, where did you put our crude at that particular point in time? Where did Nigeria's crude go? Because you should have gone to Dangote. If you had gone to Dangote, we would have been a lot more buoyant as a country right now. For Dangote, you can't blame him. It's not just that it doesn't really need us as of now. It's that the value of the company has actually gone up. So if you are saying you want to buy 10% of a company that is still within the growth process, that is still growing, the price is going to be less because it is a risk. The company may survive, it may not survive. But if it's a company that has its 2 feet on the ground, the price is going to shoot up astronomically. When he built the refinery, he said what he used to build it was $20 billion, which someone like me doesn't believe. That's my personal opinion. I don't think it was that expensive because it takes around $1 billion to build 100,000 capacity refinery. And the larger the capacity, the cheaper it becomes. But, he said it spent $20 billion. Let's accept it spent $20 billion. Now, the valuation of the company is no longer $20 billion because it's now functioning well. It is now $50 billion. Which means like 300% of what it used to be. So you cannot buy today based on what the mathematics was 2 or 3 days ago. So should he now say, okay, the federal government should come and buy again to go to lead to conflict? Okay, the other time we bought, it was at this particular amount. Now we want to buy exactly the same percentage of your stock. You are saying we should bring 300% of what we gave you yesterday. How is that going to be? So instead of going through that back and forth, it's just that, guys, day your day, my day. That's what I believe.
All right. Let us move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Since the preparations for the 2027 elections, seems like, the opposition has had it rough, especially with internal conflict. But a share of the internal conflict has gotten to the APC now, which is what we have in the Vanguard newspaper. APC primaries petitions pour in as party clears Uzodinma, Fubara, Ali, others. And it has a couple of riders. Axe dangles on Adilabu. Alleged imposition threatens Oyo APC. Ayedatiwa bows to pressure to conduct direct primaries. 30 governors of the All Progressives Congress APC, including Hope Uzodinma of Imo, Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers, and former Secretary to Oyo State Government Sharafaddin Ali, were among aspirants cleared for the primaries of the party ahead of the 2027 elections. Confirming the development yesterday, party sources said that a flood of petitions is stalling release of the screening report as part of activities to meet the timelines of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the polls. The APC had announced that it would publish the names of cleared aspirants on May 13. It was gathered that the party screened no fewer than 2,980 aspirants for one presidential slot, 28 governorship, 109 Senate, 360 House of Representatives, and 991 State Assembly positions. And presently, the party is yet to release the screening report. And, this is just a further pointer to the fact that this internal crisis is just going around. Now, for APC, the internal crisis is stemming from imposition of, or should I say, consensus candidate across board. In Ogun State, there's a consensus candidate. In various states, basically, there's been, the consensus candidate, and that seems to be a grammar that is going around a lot in the APC now. But this consensus candidate has now also brought so much, I don't want to say confusion, or should I just say, has brought a lot of disruptions in their processes, because some people seem not to agree to the consensus candidate that a lot of their, internal leaders have brought, which has now resulted to them having to struggle now to even release the list of those that have been screened to go ahead with their primaries. So let's talk about that.
Thank you very much, madam. The truth of the matter is that I don't believe in anything called consensus. It is party arrangement, like fella said the other time. Army arrangement, party put them together. Because it's about having one or two people who are lousy, who have been elders in the party, who have been around in the party for some time, to say, okay, this is the person that we want to anoint for this particular position. That is not by any means democratic. That can only happen should there be just one person vying for that position. But if there are two or more, the natural thing, what common sense says, what democracy says, what the Constitution says, is that go and slug it out. Let us see who among you is most acceptable to the people. But the APC has said that our initial intention is to pick our candidates via the consensus arrangement, and should that not work, then we are going to go to the field. Now, it's difficult for them to publish the list of successful aspirants simply because of the fact that there is a gap, a technical gap, which I believe when they did it was intentional, that before you can file for an appeal, or before you can go to court to say that you were cheated, you must be screened and cleared to vie for that office. Not just that you have bought a form for that office. You have to buy a form, you have to be screened. So should they screen you and they find you, they deem you fit for that office, then you may now say you want to challenge the outcome. But if you are not cleared for that office, you will not be able to say, oh, I have been cheated. That is why it's difficult for them to publish the names of those who are successful. What that will lead to is internal implosion, because people are going to, it's natural. You can't ask me to pay 50 million for Buba, and you won't even publish my name as someone who wants to contest for that office after calling. And it is written clearly on the form. It is non-refundable. 50 million, are you okay? It doesn't work that way. Of course, they may not. I mean, going by what is in the Electoral Act and the constitution of their party, such people may not be good. They might be able to go to court. Should they go to court? The court will say, "Well, I cannot help you because it is written in the law that you are only deemed to be an aspirant if you are cleared by your party to contest for that position. If you are not cleared, you are not an aspirant. So you are a busybody. You cannot come here to file a suit." Right now, they are in a very, very precarious situation because across the country, people are beginning to show resentment. 15 people are vying for a particular position. You are saying that someone has been anointed as the consensus candidate. When did that happen? And for you to have a consensus candidate, all screened aspirants will have to put pen on paper to say, "Hi, the son of whatever, I have decided to let go of my ambition to become whatever at this particular point in time, and I am supporting XYZ for that position." Should they not be able to do that, then there is an opening for a court case. That is, if they are screened. Now, you said you are going to release the name of people, the list of people screened as of yesterday. Nobody's name has been released till today. It shows that they want to do internal crisis management, which I don't know how it's going to work because politicians hardly have a second address. They don't have any other trade apart from politics. This is what they have waited for 4 years. 4 years has come. You are now saying that, you are not even screened to go and contest. I think they are going to say, "Okay, I have accepted. I have accepted." Is that how it works? It doesn't work that way. And a lot of people are beginning to leave the party. If I'm not mistaken, 2 left in the National Assembly yesterday. 1 went back to the PDP. 1 has not declared where he is going to. It's just starting. It is just starting. If they don't want that massive implosion to happen, let everybody go to the field. Let them go and test their strength. Should they now be defeated, everybody, you don't have people right now making noise. Nobody is going to feel cheated or agitated by that. It's that you do not have what it takes to convince the people to vote for you. So if your party members cannot vote for you, is it now the general public that will vote for you? Such a person would even have the mouth to say, this or that. The person will just disappear into the crowd. But if it's a case of, don't talk, don't even do anything, it's what we want that must happen. Nobody's going to react in a very, very tough way.
All right, this is Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM. We're going to commercial break right now. Perspectives returns shortly.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Let me guess, you enjoy talking. You always have something to say. And somehow, people actually enjoy listening to you. So why are you not on radio yet? What are you waiting for? Wales Radio Media Academy is giving you the perfect opportunity to become a certified broadcaster in just 6 weeks. You'll get hands-on studio experience, learn from industry professionals, and understand what it takes to actually own the mic. From radio presentation to news writing to public speaking and social media, everything you need all in in one place. Admission is in progress right now as resumption is on the 18th of May 2026. Admission form is available for just 5,000 naira only. This is not one of those maybe someday opportunities. This is now. Don't just sit back and listen to other people shine. Step up and let your voice be heard. For further inquiries, call 0706 840 7359 or 0803 509 3394. Begin your journey to becoming a certified broadcaster today.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it, with delivery to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafi Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, welcome back. You can be a part of the conversation this morning by calling the phone lines 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 1000, or 0915 333 4893, 0915 333 4893, or 0911 3333 893, 0911 3333 893. Those are the phone lines for you to call to be a part of the show. You can drop your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, or your WhatsApp messages on 0915 4999 893. Let's come to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Court sentences ex-Prime Minister to 75 years in prison. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court on Wednesday sentenced former Minister of Power Salim Maman to 75 years imprisonment after finding him guilty of corruption linked to the Mambila and Zungeru hydroelectric power projects. The court convicted Maman on a 12-count charge and ruled that the prison sentences will run consecutively, resulting to a total term of 75 years. Justice Omotosho also ordered that the sentence will take effect from the day the former minister is arrested. He further directed security agencies to apprehend Maman wherever he is found. So, yesterday, the news of the ex-Prime Minister being sentenced to 75 years in prison, came out, and a lot of Nigerians applauded it because it's just a pointer to the fact that yes, corruption is indeed being addressed as it should be. However, the sentence came in absentia, and the judge also ruled that wherever it is that you find him, just arrest him and take him straight to prison. Now, it means that this person that has been jailed is not even in custody. He wasn't in court when he was jailed.
Thank you very much. My country has become a playground for bad behavior and bad character. There are rules, there are procedures that you need to follow if you want to get to a logical destination. The truth of the matter is that what happened yesterday is to some extent commendable, but I mean, they missed some gaps, some very, very key and critical gaps. The judge ordered the Interpol to arrest him wherever they see him. It doesn't work that way. You are a judge in the Federal High Court of Nigeria. You do not have jurisdiction in what happens in the international space. What he should have done was to direct the EFCC and the Nigeria police, especially the Nigeria police, to reach out to Interpol. It is the Nigeria police and EFCC that can reach out to Interpol to say, we are looking for this person. This is what this person has committed, and this is the reason why we believe we need this person to face justice. He didn't do that. He just said, I have sentenced this person to jail, and that Interpol should arrest him wherever they see him. It doesn't work that way. That is not, like they say, due process. Due process wasn't followed in what the judge did, and I smell a rat. The truth of the matter is that I commend the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari. This guy did what he did when Buhari was president. He was Minister of Power in Buhari's second time as president. And Buhari said that, oh, you have done what you shouldn't have done, and for that reason I am sacking you. Not just that he was sacked, he was apprehended. I mean, this is a guy who was actually in EFCC custody at some point. They're now telling Interpol to start running after him. Why? You are the one who arrested him. How did he get out of your custody? They're not telling us. They're saying Interpol should arrest him wherever they see him. That's not how it should be.
Let's talk to this person. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Hello.
Yes, Ruth calling from Alli.
Welcome to the show, Ruth. We lost the call. Please do well to call back.
You didn't hold him tight when you held when you laid your hands on him. Now you are saying that Interpol should arrest him. That's not how things work. That is not how things work at all. Like I was saying, Buhari said, arrest this guy and prosecute this guy. Now that Buhari is no longer arrived, they are telling us that, actually he has been sentenced in absentia and all of that. I'm not buying that. That's on one side. On the other side, why hasn't this administration arrested Betta Edu? I mean, the president actually relieved her of her role as Minister of Disaster or whatever because of malfeasance and stuff like that. Relieving someone of their role is not enough. You need to arrest and prosecute. Have they done that? They haven't. So on the scale of, in the fight against corruption, on a scale of 10, of course, Buhari didn't pass at all, but looking at what is happening right now, he fared better than the current administration because at least he had the courage to arrest his minister and prosecute him. And now that culminated in what we saw yesterday, which I believe was badly done towards the tail end of the judicial process. But at least he arrested and prosecuted. When will the incumbent president say go and arrest Edu so that Nigerians can know that, yes, we are truly fighting corruption? That is what I want to see. And as regards Saleh Maman, in my personal opinion, I'm not sure the federal government of Nigeria as of today is actually interested in grabbing that guy. Because should they be interested in grabbing him, they know exactly what to do. The first thing to do is through the Nigeria police, that is the primary security agency in this country, reach out to Interpol to say, grab this guy, then bring him home. When you now bring him home, you begin to do whatever you want to do.
All right. Okay, let's pick this call first. Hello. We lost the call. Do well to call back. In the Guardian newspaper this morning, UN urges independent probes into deadly Nigeria-Chad airstrikes. And it has two riders, according to the Defense Headquarters, no evidence of civilian casualties in Zamfara Market air raid. Senator demands accountability as airstrike sparks national outcry. The United Nations Human Rights Chief has demanded an independent investigation into reports that separate air attacks by the Nigerian and Chadian forces in northern Nigeria killed more than 100 civilians. And on its part, the Nigerian military said that there was no credible or substantiated evidence of civilian casualties following an airstrike on Tumfa Market in Zormi. According to AFP, at least 72 people were killed in the wake of Sunday's missile launch. And meanwhile, the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, Abdulaziz Yaradua, called for a full investigation into the airstrike on Tumfa Market in Zormi, where at least 72 people were reportedly killed. According to Amnesty International, the Nigerian military and the bandit gangs killed at least 100 civilians on Sunday in one of the bloodiest days in the state's conflict against armed groups. Hello? Hello? I don't know what's wrong, if it's that line or the... I don't know if it's the network or it's from the other side, but 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-33-893. Let's talk about the airstrikes. Is there a pointer to the fact that there's going to be any probe into any of these allegations of because this is not the first time it's happening. It's been more recurrent lately, especially since the fight against banditry and terrorism has increased, with airstrikes happening all over Nigeria. There's been reports of civilians losing their lives from time to time. Is this intervention by the United Nations going to actually help get justice for those who are reportedly killed?
I believe so. I am not in any way pleased with the Nigerian military structure because lately, like you rightly said, a lot of people have been dying unjustly. Yes, we understand that we are in a very terrible situation. Bad boys are, roaming free, doing all sorts of terrible things. But that's no license to kill innocent people. The duty of the government is to make sure that people live decently, not that, terrorists used to use this particular path, and for that reason, we are good to kill anybody we see on that path. I mean, that doesn't make much sense to me. The particular market they are talking about in Zamfara is one that is actually frequented by the bad boys. I have established that. I spoke to some people and they said, yes, bad boys do come to that market. But they are just a tiny fraction of the total population of people in that market. So because you wanted to kill maybe, let's even say 10 people, wiped out. I mean, according to Amnesty International, around 100 people. It doesn't work that way.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show, Adirunke.
Yeah. On court next minister. So the justice James Amasha has proven to be reliable and trusted for justice because this is the most unparalleled conviction since the inception of democracy in Nigeria. So I think hopefully this will be a deterrent to others. And I said by your guest that there are still people that they need to be arrested. Maybe they embezzle or engage in corruption. That's my take.
All right, thank you so much. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-3333-893.
So like I was saying, yes, bad boys were actually in that vicinity when that bomb struck. I mean, there have been instances where there were no bad guys at all, and bombs used by Nigerian military personnel dropped, rained on innocent people. But no, this wasn't totally a bad case. But the truth of the matter is that even if it was just one innocent person that died, I mean, you have negated whatever you did, because the essence of government is to keep people safe. So if you are now killing people that you are supposed to keep safe, I mean, are you doing a good job or a bad job? So for me, the Nigerian military needs to man up, hone up. If you are denying what is obvious, then it means that you are not interested in fixing that problem. Before you fix a problem, you must admit that problem. It happened in Borno, they said, no, it's a lie. In Yobe, they said it's a lie. I said it then that this thing was not going to stop because these guys are not even admitting their flaw. But, sadly, it has come to pass. I mean, it has happened again. What is giving me joy is that now the UN is talking about it. I'm not particularly sure that they have regard for us as Nigerians. I know they respect voices from outside of the country than voices within the country. Now that the UN has said that, we are looking into it, I believe that next time they are going to do better. In all seriousness, there must be a converging points for terrorists, if only to have a Monday morning meeting or whatever. If that's the place you strike, I mean, everybody is going to applaud you. Please strike them more. But a place where you have 2% terrorists, 98% citizens, no, that is not the place you strike. Not at all. Not at all.
All right, let's move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Getting back into the politics and, of course, in preparation for the 2027 general elections. In the opposition now, Kwankwaso tackles Baba Ahmed over alleged demand for PRP presidential ticket. And it has two riders. We rejected Obi Kwankwaso's request for presidential ticket. That's according to Baba Ahmed. And PRP chair seeking attention, says the Kwankwasia movement. The national chairman of the People's Redemption Party, PRP, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, has said former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and leader of the New Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, failed to join the PRP ahead of the 2027 general elections because they wanted presidential tickets which was not obliged. Speaking during an interview, Baba Ahmed said discussions between the PRP and the two politicians broke down after disagreements over conditions for joining the party. But the Kwakwaseya movement, in a swift reaction, dismissed the claim, saying that the PRP chairman was only seeking attention. However, Baba Ahmed said Obi and Kwakwaso initially approached the PRP for possible collaboration and negotiations before things progressed to the point where a committee was proposed to continue the talks. But he said one of the major issues was a request by both politicians to secure the party's presidential ticket without facing internal opposition. Now, this is also, coming not long ago, just after Peter Obi and Robbie Kwakwaso moved on to the NDC. According to, some quarters, they said it was because they didn't get the presidential ticket on a platter. And now the PRP is also saying the same thing.
Thank you very much. My personal opinion here, I don't rate those two. I don't even believe they are co-opposition people. I see them as agents of the ruling party. And I have a reason for saying that. There are procedures, there are steps that you go through. It's like you want to go to the university and you say you don't want to write WAEC, you don't want to write JAM. It doesn't work that way. No university is going to give you admission without testing your capacity. Like we said during the case of the APC, the natural thing to do is to subject yourself to primary. That is where you test your strength. Amici wants to become president at the ADC. Atiku wants to become president at the ADC. Mohamed Ayatollah wants to become president at the ADC. So did Kwankwaso and Peter Obi. Do a Google search. You are going to see that it was just the two of them that were saying that I must be on the ballot. I must contest. I am contesting. No matter what, I will be on the ballot. It doesn't work that way. You are a troublemaker if that is your mindset. Peter Obi said it that no matter what, he was going to be on the ballot. Exactly the same thing came from Kwankwaso's mouth. Kwankwaso said, okay, if I am not the presidential candidate, I must be the vice presidential candidate. And the ADC said that it's not going to work in that manner. If you guys can have a conversation within yourselves and say, okay, this is the person we are supporting, it's fine. But for the party as a structure to say this is the person we have anointed, no, we will not be doing that, which I applauded when they said that. Another thing, Amechi said that should there be a primary, whoever wins would earn his support. Atiku said that he was prepared to support whoever wins the primary, and it's the same for Mohamed Ayatollah. Peter Obi never said that he would support whoever would win. Kwankwaso never said he would support whoever would. It was just a case of I will be on the ballot. And yes, Kwankwaso said it openly that he was negotiating with the PRP and the NDC. So if you look at the antecedents from the ADC, and if you couple that with the fact that Kwankwaso actually said that they were negotiating with the PRP, where is the lie in what Dati Ahmed is saying? Hakim Ahmed is saying? There is no lie in it, because you displayed that trait when you were in the ADC. You wanted to display exactly the same trait when nobody gives you. Someone sent someone shared a video to me, and I was like, is this a joke? That Tinubu should leave the presidential race for Peter Obi. Seriously, is that how you want to become president? You don't want to do primary. General election, still don't want to do. I want to become president of a country. No. Things don't work that way. You fight for it. If you actually mean to do the job, you must be prepared to fight for it. The presidency of any country doesn't fall on your laps. Like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm not a fan, but sometimes you just have to learn from people you don't like sometimes. You fight for it, you grab it, you snatch it, you run away with it. You don't want to fight, you don't want to grab, you don't want to snatch, you just want to run away with it. Sir, wake up. Wake up.
All right. On Facebook, Mustafa Adeyemi Kabir says, good morning. Adeomi Kazimadikazi also said, good morning. Well done. God bless Nigeria from New Garage. Dekunle Ojo Christiana also says, good morning. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
It is always an honor to be here.
All right. Thank you also for being a part of the show this morning. The conversation continues. Perspectives Unlimited returns again tomorrow at exactly 6:30 a.m. As I would always say, wherever it is that you find yourself, always ensure that you put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I am Toluwaleke Alli. Enjoy the rest of your day.